Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, joined by Dennis from Windmill Slam. Welcome to this week's episode of Whose Card Is It Anyway? Episode number 9. Dennis, how's it going?
Good evening. It's going pretty well. How are you?
Good evening for you, good afternoon for me. 6 hours apart and making it work. I like it.
Tragic.
Well, yeah, we're recording this at a weird time. Usually I'm either doing it early in the morning, it's afternoon for you, but now we're doing it's like afternoon for me, super late at night for you. So
It's not that late. It's 10 o'clock. Like, it's not the end of the world.
I guess it's not super late for a young gentleman such as
Exactly.
yourself. All right. Well, cards from last week were definitely caused Dennis and I some headaches since we both had to try and upgrade Magic Set Editor and both had some error issues, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
And we got the cards all done. So Dennis's was Thraben Throatcutter and Thraben Nightwatch, and mine was Possessed Inquisitor and Renowned Chaplain. The results, 42% for Dennis, 58% for me.
Oh,
Dennis was actually confident on this
I
one,
love
too.
this. Is the most confident I've been in any of the cards I designed.
And strangely,
Doesn't pan
you
out.
lost. But let's critique. So we'll critique yours first, since we'll go left to right.
Sure.
So aspects of your card that I liked, I really liked the idea of it. It still fits in with the horror trope in a slightly different way, because you have like the serial killer, the Jack the Ripper style serial killer, and you sacrifice a clue, so you're using a clue to make the town watch sort of come after him.
Yeah. The original thing I had was that, like, you have this serial killer, you crack a clue, you solve who the serial killer is, but now they have, like, a knight's guard, because they're like, we're not letting that shit happen again. That was my, like, plan. I could tell from the comments on YouTube and stuff that some people were like, I don't get it. I don't get why this is an enchantment now. I don't get it. The idea was that, like, you have a creature, it was this man, who causes this, like, cultural zeitgeist or whatever, and it affects the way everybody else feels after he's gone. Everyone's a little edgy, everyone's a little more vigilant and all that stuff, but they're united and they're stronger together, which I realize now is a little too high concept to get across in a Magic card.
No, I got it. And you know what else kind of like works from that is that Jack the Ripper never got caught.
No.
Like, he disappears too, and it turns into this sort of, like you said, changes the culture of the society that he's in. It's kind of like the Zodiac Killer too. You have these people that.
Oh, that's Ted Cruz, though. We know that.
Yeah, that's funny that you know that reference. But yeah, but these people just disappeared, you know?
Yeah.
These serial killers, they're never caught, and they're essentially, what's the word I'm looking for? They're like antagonizing the people, right? They'll send letters, and they'll leave like marks, and they'll leave all these clues, and they're never caught. So I liked it. I liked your card.
Oh, I should have had it whenever a creature dealt damage by this creature dies, you get a clue, because he leaves behind clues. Oh,
Ooh,
strictly
that'd have
fair,
been really
your
cool.
opponent should get the clue, but then that makes the card terrible.
I think the problem was, or at least from the comments I read, the sacrifice a clue on a black card seemed very odd, because there are no
Black
clue
clues.
cards in black, right?
I don't see why not. Like, I don't see a flavor reason for that.
There's still colorless cards that produce clues, so
Yeah.
I didn't really have a problem with
I
that.
mean, I know clues are blue and green and white, but like, I don't see why clues wouldn't be black.
I think it's fine. I mean, it's not producing a clue; it's just
Yeah.
sacrificing a clue thing. I kind of don't like that Thraben Nightwatch is literally the identical as Always Watching. I guess better because it's any creature, but it's so close to Always Watching, and it would have been in the same set.
Yeah,
I would have liked to
I wanted
see.
to have it. I wanted to have that effect, that like constant vigilance, always watching effect. So I did kind of steal always watching for the other half of the card. But you're
It's
right.
only a bummer because it's in the same set.
Yeah.
That's it. If it had been in like a different set, it would have been fine.
Mhm.
All right, moving on. So mine was Possessed Inquisitor, Renowned Chaplain. Kind of I think a lot more straightforward than yours.
Agreed.
Maybe that's why it won.
You have a guy who's possessed, then he gets exorcised, and then the two cards are exact polar opposites.
Yeah, and I happened to find out like artwork that
The
worked
art's so
perfectly
good.
for it.
The art's so good.
Yeah, that guy. So the guy had 2 pieces of art for this same character, and what I did was I took this Possessed Inquisitor art into Photoshop and I just darkened it, and it worked perfect. So, yeah, the art. I think maybe the art is what won it for me. I'm not sure.
Like
I'll
yours
take
looks like a
whatever I can
magic
get.
card. Yours looks like a magic card.
Yeah, except both of our the text on ours looks terrible. I still don't know why it did that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The font, I don't know why it does
Especially
the
the
font
parent
change.
toughness. It's not right.
So I think the complaints about mine were that there's not a lot of clerics, so it kind of it'd be difficult to flip this card. There's like if you're talking Shadows over Innistrad, there's like Militant Inquisitor, and I think there's one. I think there's one rare, one common, and one uncommon. So there really isn't like a ton of clerics. Um, People said the symmetry was good. People didn't like that he was not a cleric on the front side
Yeah,
and a
being a
cleric.
soldier doesn't make any sense. You could just make him a human horror.
Yeah, well, I was thinking he was a soldier because he's going out and he's actually like executing the church's will. You
Sure.
know.
But if he's possessed, like I don't know if I don't know if wizards like flavor reasoning allows you to have a human horror. I don't know if that you know what I mean.
Yeah, I thought they did. I'm trying to think of the one
Cloistered
cloistered
youth.
youth.
Let me see.
Yeah, I thought that one was a human horror.
Let me see. Quick
Or
bit of Google foo here. No, just a on the reverse side. That is
just a horror?
just a horror. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're right then. Maybe it could have just been a horror creature on the front and then a human cleric on the back. That probably would have worked fine. I guess it was like it has the appearance of a human soldier, but it's actually a horror. Um,
Anyway, moving
uh,
on. Yeah.
I want it.
Congratulations.
It was close though. I think it was just a. It's closer than it appears. 42 to 58% is close. I think all the ones that you won, you ended up winning by a lot, and all the ones I won were very close. So you were a good competitor, Dennis. But
Alas, doesn't pan out in Dennis's
I,
favor.
that does mean
You win.
season 1, I am the victor. So I've been thinking about,
A thing.
yes, the thing I'm gonna have you do.
Okay.
And I had one in mind, but I've changed my mind on it. Now
I should clarify. I don't know what it is. You haven't told me yet.
I have not told Dennis yet. Okay. So I'm going to have you post on Windmill Slam
That's fine.
a very pleasant infomercial about SeemsGoodMagic and what a great website SeemsGoodMagic is. But you can make it funny,
That's fine.
but no sarcasm. It's going to be real. It doesn't have to be long. It can be like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do already in my head.
All right,
Don't
all
worry
right.
about that.
I hope this doesn't backfire on me.
It won't.
This is the idea I had.
That's a good idea.
So,
You know what it is?
okay.
That's an entrepreneurial idea.
All right. So we'll see how that works out. Okay. So we have some commenters' cards. People still did the double face cards. So we've got Matthias
Oh.
Kangashaka, returning card creator. We have Curse Spirit, 4 mana, 3/3 rare spirit. When it enters battlefield, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Then you can pay 2 and 2 white and transform it. And then it turns into a 4/4 flying. And when it transforms, all humans you control get +2/+2 and lifelink
This
until
card
end
seems
of turn.
ridiculously powerful.
So
A 4 mana 3/3 that gets like -3/-3. Great.
comes in, kills something,
Great.
transforms, buffs your team.
And is a 4/4 flyer. Great.
Seems very good.
Also,
Seems
it
a
pumps
little more
itself-
mythic than rare, I think.
It's too strong. I think it makes itself a 6/6 flying lifelink.
It's not a human, so it does
Oh, it's
not
only
buff
humans by
itself.
mistake. Still really strong. Through instant speed. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's just really strong.
I think it's really strong too. I'm not sure I'm sold on the pay to transform either. Has that been done before? Has that already been done? I guess with the Pious Evangel.
There's the one where you can pay 1 to black and to discard a card. The Markov thing.
I guess there are some.
Yeah.
It just feels like it always comes with some other
The
cost.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit weird to see that. This next one from Nicholas Westgard, and this is the one who English is not his first language, but I understood this card and I kind of liked it. So 3 and a black for a 1/3 Death Touch First Strike, which is already really strong. Whenever Selfish Mercenary deals combat damage to a player, you may destroy target non-black creature that player controls. Sacrifice him, put a protection counter on target creature, then return Selfish Mercenary to the battlefield transformed. Turns into Angelic Protection, which is a tribal enchantment, which I don't think they're going to do anymore. Tribal Enchantment Angel. Creatures you control with a protection counter on it have indestructible and lifelink. We can do his flavor text. So selfish mercenary is he never cared about anyone and often
Oh,
betrayed his closest for a profit. And then the other one is until one day he found someone worth dying for and pledged to protect her until the end of time.
that's adorable. That's cute.
I
That
thought it was a
works.
cute.
I think the mercenary side is friggin' insane.
Yeah,
It's an insane card.
Death Touch First Strike is I
Death touch
think
first strike
Glissa
destroy a creature pre-combat, essentially.
deals. Yeah, wait. Oh,
When it
that's
hits the
true.
player, like
Deals
yeah.
combat damage to a player because it's got the first strike. You can destroy it before that creature deals regular damage.
But after
That is
already
insanely
declared,
strong.
after they've declared blockers.
Yeah, that is insanely strong, though. You're right.
I'm,
I like
I'm
the
never,
card though. I think it could be minor tweaked and it would still be fine.
yeah, this is
Maybe
fun.
if it was a 1/1.
It's a little strong, yeah. Well, I mean, a 1/3 first strike death touch and a 1/1 first strike death touch are the same thing, essentially.
I guess it's just easier. I was thinking if it's slightly easier to kill,
Like
maybe it
spell or
would
something.
be as
Yeah.
big a deal. But Death Touch First Strike, the only card I think that has that is Glissa from Mirrodin Besieged, and I
Yeah,
think she's a mythic.
yeah, they don't print those very often.
Very unusual. Okay, we have Annie Cow next.
Oh, I
Her
know.
card, art-wise, just templating-wise, looks really nice. I think really, really pretty. So rubricated pariah. I looked up the word rubricated, by the way. Not a word. There is a word rubricated.
That means like regimented and like dished out how you're supposed to do it, isn't it?
The fact that you knew that is kind of scary, Dennis,
We
because
get
I had to look up what
rubrics. You know rubrics?
Actually, look up rubricated. I forgot what it meant,
Yeah.
but I think that's what the word is. So rubricated pariah, 3 and a black for a 5/5 menace death touch. Creatures opponents control get -1/-1. When a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses a life. If rubricated pariah would die, return to the battlefield transformed under an opponent's control instead. Flavor text: make way for the Queen of the Red Veil. Flips into Asurial Lightwing Reawoken, which is a legendary angel creature. With flying and vigilance, creatures you control get +1/+1. When this creature transforms into Asurial Lightwing Reawoken, gain 1 life for each creature you control in play and in your graveyard. Flavor text: the veil is lifted, the light purifies once again.
This card needs to cost like 7 mana.
Yeah,
Or like
it's
8 mana. Like this card's
a few issues with this card. First, the compliments. I really like the art for some reason.
Great art.
I feel
It's
like the
sweet
art
design.
actually works.
All the design makes sense. All the components are interesting. They're just all upside. Like this card, like the rubricated pariah has no business being a 5/5. You know,
Yeah.
3 and a black
It's very
5/5.
strong.
You're like, whoa. Okay, what's the downside? All right, what's the downside? Downside is as medicine death touch. Oh wow, this got to get really bad. Oh, everything our creatures permanently get -1/-1. Oh, okay. Well, this has got to lose me the game in 3 turns or something. And then it's like when a creature controls opponent's dies, the controller loses life. Okay, that's even more upside. And then I bet like if it transforms, I lose the game or something. No, you get this giant flying angel. The card's just way too good.
Too strong. Even if it was mythic, it would have been too strong, too rare. The front side actually doesn't make sense. This is a minor nitpick, but still, I think, worthy of mentioning. It shouldn't be a legendary creature on the front. I believe
Oh,
legendary...
I'm an idiot.
What?
The opponent gets the angel. If it dies.
Oh, under an opponent... Oh, I see. Okay.
Next kind of talking.
It still feels like mythic, even though they get it. I think it's just the full combination of abilities.
Yeah, I think it would also be like a 4/4. But now I'm kind of in.
I think it's cool. I still think it's mythic.
That's awesome. I know. I'm all in now.
The front side should not be a legend. I will say that.
No.
Only the back side. I believe there are no legends in the game that do not have a name.
Like a proper noun. Yeah.
I think, and if someone can challenge and make that right, then please show me. But I think that is the case. So minor nitpick, but still proven. Good pointing that out, Dennis.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that either. But they go to your opponent's side. I think the creatures you control get +1/+1. Do they do that anymore where the creature affects itself like that? I feel like normally it's other creatures.
Yeah, because it's confusing. Yeah, they probably don't.
They used to do that, though. Like Undead Warchief, that cycle, I believe, affected themselves. But that's also a minor nitpick. I am more on board now that I know that your opponent gets it. But like I said, I still feel as though there's enough things on this where it feels like a mythic. It feels too many things to be just a rare, I believe. But very cool. And thank God you noticed that, Dennis, there.
The card that's sweet now.
Annie would have been really upset if we didn't notice that, so I'm glad he pointed that out. Okay. Next, Steam Vents, our good friend Miles,
Miles.
who's been hanging out at the Twitch streams that I've been doing, so I appreciate that.
There you go.
All right. Dorn Exsanguinator. Exsanguinator. 3 and a black, 3/3 legendary vamp assassin. Flying death touch. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a human, put a purification counter on Dorn. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 3 or more purification counters on them, transform it. Flavor text: I despise humans. They have no concept of true elegance or beauty. Transforms into Dorn Sanguine Paragon, a vampire knight with flying and first strike. It's a 4/4. Human creatures you control get +2/+2. Whenever a vampire an opponent controls deals damage to a human you control, destroy that vampire. Did you think I would just let you destroy the church? You are a fool.
I don't. Is he a vampire who gets cured? Is that what happens?
But he's still a vampire.
Is he a
So is
vampire
he
who
like-
does he just switch sides?
So is he like, he's like Blade?
Yeah, is he Blade? Is this Blade
He's-
the card?
He's a daywalker, is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Well, actually, is that a sun or a moon in the background? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Um,
The card's
I-
fine.
I-
I like it.
he switches sides. I think you're right. That's
If
that's what
that
it is.
then that's fine. You could have made that a little clearer in the flavor text, I think. Because the way that the "Did you think I would let you destroy the church? You are a fool" makes it seem like he's like a vampire spy kind of guy. But I thought it was he spends enough time around the humans that he understands their point of view and like grows.
And I think
compassion.
that's what it is.
Well, in that
'cause it's-
case, it should be like the flavor text should be something along the lines of "These people aren't as bad as I thought." You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, you're right. It's if you control a human, Peter, at each turn. So it's like he's hanging out with humans and getting more pure.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like the idea of it.
Sweet Miles, yeah.
All right, another commenter card. We have Jordan Shader, who said, Vengeful Spirits, a 1/2 flying spirit horror. Whenever a creature you control dies, lose a life, put a +1/+1 counter on Vengeful Spirits at the beginning of your end step if he has 3 or more. Remove those counters, transform it. Flavor text: the more you take from their families, the more wrathful they become. They will turn your sorrow into blessings for their remaining kin. As Mara Hollow Hinge Priestess turns into Benevolent Fright, 3/4 flying spirit. When it's transformed, exile up to X non-land permanents you don't control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters removed from it when it was transformed. And then whenever a creature you control dies, gain a life, put a +1/+1 counters on all creatures you control. Flavor text: enemies of our house will no longer torment our line. They have been so far removed that even their remaining families will forget their very existence. Mysterious message inscribed on the streets.
I don't think you need the whenever a creature dies, you gain +1 life and +1. I think that's too good. But if you have this, it's like a 4-mana 1/2 flyer, which is kind of crappy. But then as it accumulates all these deaths, it flips into this big thing that like bips a bunch of stuff. That's fine. It's probably mythic then, still.
Probably mythic, you're right.
Still
Just
totally
basing
fine.
it on
But that's a
What's
sweet,
the-
sweet design.
the quarantine field sort of effect.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like
Definitely
it.
like the idea of it because you have spirits that transcend both black and white. It stays a spirit, but it does transform into this benevolent fright when it
I
turns
would have
white.
been
so
a human that, like, I guess kills themselves. It's kind of dark for Magic the Gathering, and then is like vengeful in death, maybe, rather than like a spirit just being mean.
Yeah, and why is it turned good, I guess? Why is it transforming into good?
Well, it has to go from black to white. That was
It did have to go from black to white. I guess if it's benevolent, when you think of something benevolent, you don't think of something that's like
That's kind, yeah.
exiling a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But I think with minor tweaks, this card would be perfect. I
It's a
really
great
like the
card, yeah,
idea of
it's
it.
design.
Very cool. All right, suggestion for this week comes from Bruticus Force. We are now starting season two. Season 2 of Whose Card Is It Anyway? All right.
We'll be taking
So the
an 8-week
suggestion-
break. No.
What was that?
We'll be taking an 8-week break from the show.
Yeah, 8 weeks from now. No, we'll
see
be
you in,
right back.
see you
of
in
course.
October.
We don't need the downtime. It doesn't take us that long to record a season, as it turns out. Okay. 2 and a red, human creature, a 2/2 with an enter the battlefield ability. There was not a rarity provided, so Dennis chose rare.
Mhm.
All right. As per usual, I'm going to read both cards, and then we're not going to comment on them. We're going to wrap it up and wait for your vote. All right, here we go. We have Reckless Tactician, 2 and a red for a 2/2 human warrior, rare creature. When Reckless Tactician enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +2/+0 and gain trample until end of turn. Creatures you control attack each turn if able. Haste. Flavor text. Offense is the best defense. I'm not sure that's how that... Charge! Okay. Next. Storm Channeler. 2 and a
I don't
red
even
for
know
a
her.
2/2. Wait, what?
Storm Chandler, I hardly even know her. Sorry, go ahead.
Storm Channeler. 2 and a red. 2/2. Human Wizard. Rare. Haste. When Storm Channeler enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player and 1 damage to you. Flavor text. Keranos will not suffer the weak. Okay. How to vote. Contact us. Whose card is it anyway at gmail.com. You folks have been doing that. We, of course, take your votes and suggestions right away if you want to email us. Twitter at WCIIA Podcast. Whose card is it anyway podcast. Leave a comment with a suggestion for next week. Remember to include the card cost, the color, the rarity, and the card type. And be sure to vote for this card and make it clear for us who you're voting for. Dennis, anything cool coming up for you?
The game show came out today.
Ooh,
The new
okay.
episode of the Wimbledon Slam game show came out today, which is pretty cool. We filmed a ridiculous intro in it, or I have a training montage to get back into the spin of things to host the show again. That came out today.
Oh my god, I gotta watch that.
So head on over and check that out.
Okay.
And also eagerly await my infomercial for SeemsGoodMagic, which might take a while to make, but I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, all right. I love that you immediately already knew what you're going to do.
That. Yeah.
That's the magic of Dennis here, folks. He really does. He just gets the idea, and he's got it right away.
Flying.
All right. All right, well, I guess we'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the suggestions. Happy voting. We'll see you later.
See you next time.